Hey friends, this is Gina Hardin, and I want to welcome you to my new YouTube channel called Liberty Grows. And the reason I'm starting this channel is because for the last about 5 years I've been reading and studying and learning so much about the Constitution, about American history, about education and government, and I want to share some of that with you. And so I just wanted to start by asking you, how does liberty grow? Well, it grows one person at a time. And in the Bible it says, "My people perish for lack of knowledge." And unfortunately, many Americans today have lost the knowledge of our history, of our Constitution, and that's why we see so much lawlessness in our city councils, in our state representatives, in the Congress, in our police forces. And we need to learn and re-educate ourselves on the principles that this country was founded on. So I want to share with you in this first video some of the great resources that I have found and where I've been studying and learning, so you can go beyond this 3-4 minute video and learn for yourself. So I asked you, how does liberty grow? Well, the answer is it grows one person at a time. And it's a slow process. We have to be patient. We don't just run out with guns and start a bloody revolution because we don't have the patience to pass laws and that type of thing, or go out and protest or petition our government. We have to do those things. But it grows one person at a time, one family at a time. And one important lesson that I've learned in the last few years is called the principle of self-government. That liberty really begins with each one of us governing ourselves internally. And we do that through the Spirit of God, by governing ourselves through the Spirit of God. And when you do that, then you don't need external controls upon you. Then you don't need to be put in shackles and imprisoned because you can't control and govern yourself. So let's learn to govern ourselves, govern our families, our local churches and schools and communities, our cities, our states, and remember that every state is sovereign. And so let me tell you about some of the great resources that I've been going to. First of all, about 5 years ago, I started homeschooling my children. And the first thing I learned in kindergarten, I needed to learn, was about education. What is education? And so I found this great free audio download at philomathfoundation.com, and I'll put a link in the description box here for you. But at Philomath Foundation, you'll see some free audio downloads. One is called First Things to Learn and Teach About Education. There's another one called First Things to Learn and Teach About Government, another on history, and other excellent teachings by master teacher Catherine Dang. Miss Dang has been an educator for over 30 years. She's amazing. I consider her a mentor. And she actually comes here where I live in Southern California 4 times a year to encourage and teach other homeschooling parents what they need to know. So that's a great resource I encourage you to look at. There's another incredible woman named Chrisanne Hall, who I just recently discovered in the last couple of weeks. She has a Facebook page, a radio show. She's an amazing woman. She's a pastor's wife, I think an Army veteran, a constitutional attorney, and she just has a wealth of information for us. So I encourage you to check out her YouTube channel as well. Let's see, there's amazing books. I've read some of the most incredible books. I just finished reading The Church Polity of the Pilgrims, which is this amazing sermon, actually, that was printed into a book form, but it was a sermon from 1850 something, just before the Civil War. And it talks about the church order of the Pilgrims, because when you look at our country today, and you look at the tyranny that a lot of people are experiencing, well, how did we get here? It didn't just happen overnight. It started because we started losing self-government individually and in our families and in our churches. Liberty in America grew from the Congregational Church Order of the Pilgrims churches and the understanding that they had of Scripture. And when the churches began to lose liberty and we began to practice tyranny in our churches, that has now overflowed into the states and into our nation. And you can learn more about that in reading that sermon, The Church Polity of the Pilgrims. So there's many more resources, but we'll leave that for another video. So if you like this, please hit like, share with your friends, and subscribe to join me right here next time where liberty grows.